Hello everyone, thank you for joining me once again. Now in this video I will showing us our newest update to our basic Checkmate report generator template. So what have we added newly? We've added the ability for the subject sheet to be bulk imported. We have also improved the interface for the report page so that empty rows are going to now be removed from the report page so you don't have empty subject spaces. So I'm going to be taking us on a walkthrough on this new update and let's see how it goes. So first of all, I've already started my template. It's supposed to start the template. It will be unstopped if you didn't know this before. So I'm going to navigate to first term. Now I have already exported the subject sheets, but for the sake of those of us, because exporting is actually we've updated how that is done, so I'm going to try to export a new set of subject sheets. If I go to export subject sheets, third term, select export subject sheets and click on execute, it prompts me to select the folder where I want to export them to, and then this time around what it does is going to pick all of these individual subjects and then generate a subject sheet, and then it labels it with that subject name. So that's different from what it was before. Before it doesn't generate, it doesn't assign it a subject name. You will do that manually yourself. Alright, we're done. So it had to circle through about 23 subjects. That's why it took that much time. So if I go back to navigation, okay, let's see where the files that were generated. So this is the third term. This is the subject sheet where I exported the subject sheets to. So you can see it here. This is third term. Alright, let's open one of them. So what I mean by it, give it a label, subject name, so you can just distribute this to each individual teacher handling the particular subject. So prior to now, I've already done that for first term and second term, and I've also imputed some fictitious scores into them. So if I open one here, so this is for second term, and then these are fictitious scores that I've added to it. So the next thing we're going to do is to import this subject sheet into the main template. So how do you go about that? To select input, import subject sheet. So we've introduced two methods, or we've introduced a new another method, which is the bulk import sheet subject sheet method. So this imports all of the subject sheet at once for you, instead of having to select it one after the other like it used to be before. Now for the selection of one after the other, we've improved that as well. You do not longer need to enter the letter, the column letter of the subject you are trying to import. The system can automatically identify each subject and where to place them. So I'm going to use the first method, the old method, and let us see how it has improved with first time. Then in the second time I'm going to do the bulk import method. So import subject sheet and click on execute. So it's going to prompt me to select the folder where the subject sheet is. Now here you need to be careful to select the particular subject sheet for that particular class. If you don't select the correct subject sheet for that particular class and for that particular term, it's going to reject it. Let's, for example, I'm going to, instead of imputing for the first term, I'm going to take for the second term. So it's going to tell you that it's an incompatible sheet selection. Check that the correct template or class or term is correct. So I deliberately used a second term. So this is also the error that will happen if you choose the wrong template, or you choose the wrong class template, or you choose the wrong term for the same class template. So we are going to start all over again. We'll close this. So that's just to give us an idea of what you can experience, especially if you choose the wrong template. So it has some form of data sheet validation. So I'm going to click on execute. Since it's still on import subject set, I'm going to select the correct template this time around. So just as one brief, I want to select for subject 9. So it has imported subject 9 for me, as you can see. If yes, as before, I want to search for first time subject 2. So this is subject 2, yes. So this is what you're going to do until you import the entire subject set for that class. Subject 1 for just too brief. Yes. How up to 23 subject, so that's going to take me a while, so let's go over it little by little. Yes. So this can take a while, especially if you have a lot of subjects. Look for 6. Subject 1. Look for 7. 8. So let me hurry over this. 10, 21, 22. Alright, you get the ideas. I'm going to stop here. So we've imported 16 number of subject sheets. So that was a lot. So this is what you're going to do if you use this method. You're going to select it one after the other. So now in second time, I don't want to go through this time consuming method. So I'm going to use the bulk import sheet method to get this done. So instead of import subject sheet, I'm going to use bulk import subject sheet. So it's going to just pick it up all up for me once, instead of me having to select it one after the other. So I'm going to, this time around, I can only just select the folder, just the folder it's interested in. So it's going to find all Excel sheets that is relevant to this class and for this term, and to select them all, pick his data, and import it here. So error encountered. Alright, I think this has even completed. Alright, it has completed the entire thing. Okay, so I think we are good to go. So it has extracted, so we didn't have to do that one by one. So this is very neat and very clean. So this is done. It's almost similar as the score sheet import method. So this is part of what we've added to it to give it more functionality. And then what we're going to do now, we're going to head over to the next phase where we improved. That is the report interface. Now for the report interface, the only compulsory amount of rows, we have about 7 of them. So this is how the report will come out empty if it's empty. Now when we start to populate the report with names, so it's going to figure out how many subjects was offered, and then only display number of rows for those particular subjects. Now you can select this actually. So this is so because it's set to selective. Alright, if I set this to default, so it's going to show the entire rows. So this is what it's going to be like ordinarily in old the Checkmate report, but with the new addition, with the new updates, once I set this to selective, it's going to remove all of the empty subject rows. So take for instance, it has removed 16, 17, 18, 19. We're left to 20, 21, 22, 23. It has also removed the subject number 3 and subject number 10. They didn't have any subjects. You can confirm them. If I go back to default upper, still default. So it's eliminates 3, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, since they don't have any scores. So that's how this works. There's another option called this time subject, but you won't be needing this. Selective is what you need for first time. So this allows you to be able to remove excess empty spaces. If we go to second term, we'll try to do the same thing. In second term, I have imported data in all of the subjects, so I want to try to remove some data sets. Let me see, I can remove some people's data, so just so that we can achieve some kind of an equilibrium. So let's assume this as elective subjects. So this is just for demonstration purposes. So let's assume this is what we have, typical class. Some subjects are offered and some subjects are not. So if we go to the report page and select a particular child, and remember this is set to selective, so it's going to show us all of the subjects that has a score. Okay. So if I select a different child, so it selects only subject that has a score. So this is good to go. So in second term, there's an additional selection, subject list selection, which is called hybrid list. Now, what the hybrid list does, the hybrid list allows you to show subjects that was offered in second term. Like in this case now, we know that subject 5, 6, and 7 were not offered this term by this child. 5, 6, 7 should be eliminated in the list if I use selective. So there's no 5, 6, 7, and 8. But it was offered in first term. Okay. So it will show us what was done in first term, but maybe second term they didn't do it. To show us that in addition to what was done in second term. Okay. So if I use, that's what hybrid does. So it shows subject list for all previous terms, including the current term. So that's the hybrid list. So sometimes it can affect the results, especially for third term, because it will affect the cumulation of the results as displayed. So that's just the difference between these two. All right, let me change this back to selective. This is what you'll be using more often. So this is a better way of presenting the report. So if I click this, let me say I want to generate report number 12 only, and I want to cancel. So I now want to print the PDF. Alright, so this is one of the challenges you may face. So you could have print error or generation error due to very long file name or file paths. Please move template to desktop and attempt PDF. So where my folder was saved there's a minimum amount of character length a file name or a folder path in Windows should have. I think mine have exceeded that, and that's why it is showing me this. What I will do is to solve this is to close the template, save it, close the template, and then copy it to my desktop. And then from desktop, I'll run the printing again, so that the desktop is very close to the C drive. So that's why this didn't allow me to print. But if I use print send to printer, they should show me the reports page. So I'll wait for it to generate the results. Alright, so that's the result as generated in OneNote. Okay, so this is much better. It removes all of the white spaces, way better than before. Okay, right. So this is the same thing that happens for third term as well, but in third term, of course, the hybrid is going to be for first term, second term, and third term. Okay, so of course now I don't have a score for third term, right? And if I select a student, no subject will show because third term doesn't have any results. But however, if I select hybrid, I should see something because these subjects were offered in the previous terms. So that's the difference. So use this with discretion, especially for third term results. So you can still have a cumulative because third term result is usually a cumulative result. So you still have something. But if it's set to selective, it will only expect to find subjects that has a score for the particular term in question. All right. So basically, this is the new update we've done, and I think this is quite wonderful. I've been planning to do this for quite a while. I'm happy I've been able to come around to put it together. I hope you like it, and I hope you send us a DM asking if you have more questions. You can ask. If you are interested in it, you can also contact me on any of our handles, WhatsApp handles, or contact methods. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.